Rick, you've covered basketball for a long time, and at the end of the day, it all comes down to this, viewers at home, a legacy conversation. Kevin Durant joining another team. I believe this might be his fifth or sixth. Fifth team he's played for. Rick, is he hurting his legacy by joining another team?
No. We're in a place now with player empowerment where guys are choosing to move. The whole idea of spending your entire career with one team, that used to be a mark of excellence. It used to be something that guys aspire to. That's no longer the case. And it would be one thing if it was a matter of, you know what, teams are trying to get off of Kevin Durant. And that really hasn't been the case. It's been more Kevin Durant is dissatisfied with where he is and wants to be moved. So that's what's driving this. If anything has hurt his legacy, it's the decisions that he's made on where to go. You leave Oklahoma City, okay, and you go to the Warriors. That's validated by winning 2 championships. But now you go to the Brooklyn Nets to join Kyrie Irving. That wasn't about championships. I don't know exactly what that was about, right? And then the Nets thing falls apart, and you make Phoenix the destination you want to go to, and that doesn't work out. So for as great as Kevin Durant has been as an individual player, I think what hurts his legacy the most is you have to ask the question, how important is winning championships to him based on the decisions that he's made on where he's gone? At least with the Houston Rockets, you can look at it and go, you know what, this makes sense. This gets him closer to winning a championship, but it's some of the previous decisions that he's made that hurts him.
Yeah, this doesn't affect his legacy at all. I mean, even though we're in a different NBA, but even back then, a lot of guys moved on different teams. Charles Barkley, I can name a couple guys. Allen Iverson, all them dudes with the different teams. But now the difference is they create their own narrative. As far as, I don't want to play for this franchise. I don't have to. Back in the day where, even in football and in basketball, where the ownership had all the power, and you got to play for them. If you don't play for them, they frown upon it. No. I want to go so I can win a championship at. I want to go so I can still be a good player. I want to go to a team that has good players around me. I want to go and play for a good coach. Everything that Kevin Durant wants to do, they have it in Houston. And I look at all the guys like LeBron, he's on his 4th team. Shaquille O'Neal, he played on 6 different teams. When we look at LeBron James, he's still one of the GOATs. You look at Shaq, still the most dominant. What's the difference between Kevin Durant? He's still a really good player. So I hear what you're saying. I heard the question, but when you that good like Kevin Durant, you that special, you can't change his legacy. Only thing he can do is help it. Yeah. He goes to the Houston, they win a championship. We're going to be parading about Kevin Durant. I know I am. I know all the elites, all the greats are going to cheer about it. When you add championships, we had this whole conversation a couple days ago about LeBron James talking about the championship culture. Well, this is part of it because I'm learning when you don't win championships and you are so great and so talented, they knock you. When you go to a team that you have some supporting cast, some help around you, they're going to knock you. So if you're going to get knocked anyway, you might as well get knocked when you win it. Yeah. Kevin Durant, go win a championship. I ain't mad at you.
The answer's no. I mean, KD's a champion. Whatever you want.
You're a true player.
Whatever you want to think about that. Me, watching KD, I think KD's a top 10 player all time. He's walking into the Hall of Fame. None of that's changing by going to 4 different teams in so many years. It does not matter. Watching KD play the game of basketball, KD is one of the greatest basketball players we've ever seen. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is a champion. He is a finals MVP, all the above. That is Kevin Durant. So moving again to another team changes none of that. Now, him going to chase a championship, cool, but it don't change nothing about his legacy. And I kind of disagree, Slick. You don't think, like, all these destinations he went to, he thought he had a chance to win a championship? Like, you're KD and you sitting here saying, okay, I get to go over here with Steph and them. That works out, I win a championship. Oh, my dog Kyrie Irving's over here. We think Kyrie Irving a pretty good basketball player. Let me go partner with him. Oh, shoot, Devin Booker and them boys just went to the finals. Devin Booker's a good player.
Bradley Beal was good back then.
Let me go over here and be with them. You don't think that he was like, I have a chance to win a championship over here, too?
I think having been on a championship team, he knows how much you need and how hard that is. And if I'm going to the Brooklyn Nets and I got Kyrie Irving and what? Like, no, I don't look at that and go, you know what, I'm primed to win a championship.
I was about to go with you.
No, before he does his hating situation. But real quick, though, so I got a chance to ask Kyrie Irving about that. And Kyrie said when him and Kevin Durant plan to play together, because they like the way they play each other, et cetera. He said, yo, if you look at our team was really, really good. We had bigs, we had bench. He said why we got messed up was they seen James Harden and they wanted to work that thing out. When James came to the Nets, they had to give up some pieces. They got to give up some bench players. They give us some big men. That's how that whole thing unfolded like that. But this them two, Kevin Durant and Kyrie, initially they wanted to work together and they had a good team. So I just hate when people like try to hate on Kevin Durant. No, I'm not saying you hate, not right now. Of course. Like a couple minutes you're gonna hate, but not right now. I'm just saying when people do hate on Kevin Durant about the teams, I'm like, bro, if I had a chance and the power, because everybody can't do this, to play with players that I want to play with or play with the people that I like, everybody would do it. Now, it's time for you to hate.
James has suggested when I do this.
Here it comes.
You about to what? You about to what? You about to
hate for real.
I cannot disagree with you all more. I'm going to say a couple things, and this isn't just going to apply to basketball. This is going to apply to life. Hit dogs holler, so hopefully you don't holler. The more you travel, the more you water down your legacy. But I also want to suggest this. Don't ever let the current culture dilute or change the truth. I remember a famous actress got divorced one time. I'll let y'all try to figure out who it is. And after getting divorced, she said, well, you know what? I think marriage is something you graduate from. I said, wait, what? Marriage is something you graduate from? So now you want to change the intention of marriage because you want to make yourself feel better about the fact that you're getting divorced. Since when is marriage something you graduate from? Just because the current culture suggested players move around ain't mean that's what it's supposed to be. Because Jokic ain't moving around. Giannis ain't moving around. Steph ain't moving around. And outside of a forgettable year, not by Shai's own mention, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander ain't moving around. Now to Shady's point, and Shady made a beautiful one. How can you fault KD for going to go get something, a championship? I'm not faulting him for going to go get it. I'm faulting him because he can't bring it to him. That's why he's going to go get it. You're only going to go get it because it won't come to you. Shai brought a championship to him. Giannis brought a championship to him. Jokic brought a championship to him. But because KD can't bring a championship to him, that's why he got to go get it. He got to go get it in Brooklyn, try to go get it in Phoenix. Now he's going to go get it in Houston. But if you could bring it to, if you could bring it to you, you wouldn't have to go get it. So I'm faulting KD, and I'm simply suggesting not even faulting him. I'm suggesting his legacy is watered down because I have a very simple legacy formula. It's very simple. I was not great at math. You don't have to be for it. It's simple. Championships divided by teams you played for is how great your legacy. The higher the number on the far right column, the greater your legacy is. As you can see, Kobe Bryant, 5 chips, 1 team. Tim Duncan, 5 chips, 1 team. Steph Curry, 4 chips, 1 team. LeBron James, 4 chips, 3 teams. Obviously, notably left off there is Michael Jordan, but y'all get it. Y'all can do the math. The number of championships you win by the teams you play for, to me, is your legacy. Dirk Nowitzki, 1 championship, 1 team. But now KD, 2 championships, but he's been on 5 teams at this junction in time. Your legacy is dependent upon how many championships you win and how many teams did you have to play for to do it. That's my simple legacy equation. I ain't got to get into all the gyrations and all the motions and all the debates. How many chips did you win? And how many teams did you have to play for to do it? That is your legacy.
That is the greatest, nerdiest take that you have ever had. That was outstanding. And to your point, I believe the thing that hurts his legacy the most, because let's not confuse legacy with resume. His resume, because of his individual stats and all of that, you can't touch that. If you just read all of his accomplishments, you can't touch that. But legacy is more about how we think of you, how we remember you. And that's where, not so much moving around, but what has resulted from him moving around. And I would say the thing that hurts him the most with his legacy is, to your point, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning a championship in Oklahoma City. Because when he left, the feeling was, you know what, they got close, but the sense was he's never going to win a championship in Oklahoma City. And he's a championship level player. So we gave him that, right? But now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the difference in their staying there, if you throw out the Seattle year and you throw out the year that KD only played like 27 games, wasn't in the playoffs, he was there essentially 7 years. Shai was there 6 years, has been there 6 years. Shea worked through the hard times and brought a ring to Oklahoma City. And for the same reason that we now say that Shea will be regarded as the greatest Thunder player ever, is because he was willing to stick it out and make it happen and bring that championship to Oklahoma City. I think that's the greatest point that you've made, that it puts KD in a little bit of a different light, is that he did have to go chase it. It's the same with LeBron James. Mm-hmm. He had to go chase it. What pulled it back a little bit is he went back to Cleveland and got them one.
And then got him one.
So
still not quite exactly the same. But when I look at to your like Steph Curry and Golden State,
He went through the hard
so
stuff.
LeBron,
he went through the hard times in between the championships, before the championship, and then to amass all of them, he went through some really hard times.
Hey, you said I don't want to stop it, but you said something about LeBron. I want you to finish that. Is he cool?
I think his legacy is hurt somewhat in that he had to go chase it. He had to go to Miami to learn how to win championships, and then brought one back to Cleveland, utilized all their resources. Okay, I'm done. Now let me move on again. I think there's something about guys who are willing to stick it out and
bring it there.
I'm going to trust my team to put the necessary pieces around.
You say that, but it's a lot of All-Stars that haven't done that, right? Like, I don't know if LeBron James' legacy gets affected because he went to different teams.
Oh, there's no
Miami.
question.
We killed him 2-5.
No question.
He was in the league at the time, but, like, people killed him.
LeBron James, what about right now today? Do they talk about, nobody talks about it. The whole team switching, I would say LeBron kind of started that, but look at LeBron James. What can you say about him? He's a champion. He's probably the best player we've ever seen in basketball, other than MJ. Right?
I'm not.
There's a smaller, but like the D Wades, he went to multiple teams. The Paul Pierces, the Kevin Durant. I can name team players.
Now, here's Kobe Bryant, who went through hard times.
But how many of them is it? But okay, so how many guys? You got Tim Duncan. But like it's just as many superstars you have like that. It's like Shaq.
Yeah, but he already.
Nobody here can fix their lips to say anything wrong about Shaq. He's been on multiple teams.
But it's not, but two different conversations. Because to me, there's a conversation about how great an individual is, which Shady, I think, is talking about, and then, like, how potent your legacy is. Because LeBron, the good thing for LeBron is, at minimum, he's won a chip on every team he's played on. Every team. So whether it was the Lakers, got a chip. Heat, got a chip. Cavs, got a chip. So if I show up, I bring the chip to me.
Right.
KD hasn't got a chip on every team he's played on. Now, there's nuance. Like Shady said, there's a lot of nuance. Dwayne Wade. He won all his chips in Miami, and then towards the end of his career, he goes to play with LeBron in Cleveland. Then I think he goes to Chicago, his whole town.
That's part of it, though.
You know, there's some nuance there. So Shady brings up a good point of nuance. Michael Jordan goes to the Wizards.
Go to Shaq. I want to hear y'all talk about Shaq.
I think the hard part for me is Shaq did start to ring chase towards the tail end of his career, but I think that's the same nuance of Shaq won 3 with the Lakers, started with the Magic, won 3 with the Lakers, but Shaq and Kobe's legacy ain't the same to me. Like, when I think of Kobe, it is the Lakers. Boom.
That's cool.
Boom.
Okay, that's okay. When you think of Shaq,
dominance.
That's greatness. I'm a champion. Shaq's great.
Of course, dominance. But like Shaq and Kobe's legacy, to me, especially in LA, the city we're currently doing.
I'm just talking about. If we talk about the player, eventually, what's going to happen is every player's going to be gone from this game. It's going to happen like that. When you're gone, then let's talk about your legacy, right? I don't care what teams you played on. When you gone, we're going to talk about who you was as a player. When we talk about Shaquille O'Neal,
most dominant player.
What we talking about?
Dominant.
And when you talk about Kobe, dominant. Great player. They both greats.
But not only that, though, too, though, I don't think it's fair because certain people get treated different.
Elaborate.
What I mean by that is LeBron James is not Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Kevin Durant is not Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander could be with the OKC Thunder for 10 years and not win a championship. He will not get treated like KD, like he has to win a championship. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I think for them, you think of ring chasing because that is your true legacy because you're that great of a player.
Point. Let me push back. That's a really good point, but let me push back. I do think there's a difference kind of to what Shady's getting at now. Shady's kind of brought it out to me. I think a good conversation is whether you choose to leave, whether you were asked to leave, or whether you were forced out are all different situations as well for me, right? SGA, he was drafted to the Clippers. But SGA didn't want to go to the Thunder. Whereas Kevin Durant, we know he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave OKC. And at the time, that's a different KD. At the time, if KD would have stuck it out, that's a different situation. LeBron wanted to leave Cleveland.
But they wanted to leave because all the pressure on them and all everybody was saying is they have to win a championship. With all due respect to Giannis, they're not saying that about Giannis and Joker. Joker and Giannis could stay at the same team, for real. They could stay at the same team for 12 years. If they don't win a championship, the pressure to win a championship wasn't the pressure that LeBron James
But you're
was
right.
under.
But that's different now. Remember, KD left in 2016. The dialogue was not the same in 16 as it is in 2025, 10 years later. I'm saying we were not saying in 2016, KD, if you don't win a championship in OKC, you a punk. We still had grace for you back then.
And that's probably true, but he's seen what they were doing to LeBron. And that's why LeBron went to a super team. So KD coming up next, in his mind, he like, I got to win a championship because he was held to those standards.
Rick, chime in on this. Did he see what they were doing to LeBron, or did he see what LeBron did? I think that's the difference. I think he saw what LeBron did and said, you know what? Bron had to dip to go get his. I'm a dip to go get mine. And there's two trains of thought. Because I think Joker and Giannis have seen what Steph has done. Giannis easily could have said, I want out. Jokic, by his 7th season, could have said, you know what? I want out. I'm winning MVPs. I'm not winning chips. I want to dip. Shea could have said after last year, we are 1 seed. And I couldn't get it done as a 1 seed, and I'm an all-NBA player. Chet ain't good enough.
But you know what, though?
And we didn't treat him like that.
And another thing is, I think about, like, even when y'all keep talking about, like, this guys leaving, we let the front office and these franchises get passes, right? Even with LeBron James, him doing all that he did for that squad, because they weren't even that good, the team. But he was so good, he elevated everybody.
Yeah.
Now, I need help. Why y'all not give me no help? Kobe Bryant had to put pressure on the Lakers, because he was about to leave, too. Do you forget that? And I needed pressure. I gave him pressure. I need some more help. I need some more help. And they kind of did that. So I feel like sometimes when you play with these franchises, they get passes because, well, you know, I'm the player. I'm the thing where everybody sees. If I do well, they're going to give me love. But if I do bad and we don't win as a group, they're going to yell at me. They're not saying nothing about the franchise. You ever been somewhere where the GM wasn't that good?
Yeah.
Ownership wasn't that good. But if the player is so talented, we forget about all that. No. The business side of things, I understand what the LeBrons and the KDs are going through. Like, for example, I'm with OKC, right? And we have Harden, we have Russ, we have Ibaka, we have Steven Adams. We have a squad. Right? And I'm like, okay, if I'm a coach, we need to go through Kevin Durant. And there's sometimes in the game where Russ like, well, I mean, I'm just as good. I'm going to take the last shot. But real quick, sometimes you need a player, or you need a coach to come and like, hey, we can't do that. So if Kevin Durant ain't really the most vocal type player, how's that message get across?
Because
you get what I'm saying?
I hear you, but I want to pick on one thing Shady said, right? Do you need help, or do you need to help yourself? I think sometimes both are true.
You need the front office to step in there sometimes.
But I think sometimes both are true. I don't know if y'all saw over the weekend, Tracy McGrady was like, if you would have put me instead of Kobe on them Lakers team with Shaq,
I disagree,
would have won some chips too. And I agree with you. I agree with Shady on that note. But if you're T-Mac, you could suggest to yourself, I needed more help. Or you could say, well, you had Yao Ming. Well, you had Stevie Franchise. Like, you had enough. It was you.
So never won a round.
And you never. So what I'm suggesting is, like, it's not that you're wrong, Shady. I think sometimes both are true. I think sometimes players need more help. I think sometimes help yourself. Jokic could have said, I need more. I need more than Murray when Jokic won his first chip. Giannis sure as heck could have said, I need more than Middleton.
He did.
Shea last year could have, I'm saying, but Giannis won it with Middleton. Shea last year could have said, I need more, because Chet often injury prone, he only playing 24 minutes a game. I just think if you gut it through, that matters.
Let me say this, though, because Joker had how many MVPs before he won a chip?
2, right?
You know how bad we would have been talking about Bron and KD if they ain't win? When's the last time my man Giannis won a playoff series?
2020.
You know how bad we would be talking about KD and Bron, because we do. You know how bad we would be talking about them? They're not held to the same standard. When you're not held to the same standard, you can sit back and chill. You can. All that being said with Joe, they're not held to the same standard as Bron and KD. They're not. They're not. And that's why.
They're not American players. See, talking about that American player. I told you that.
Go ahead, Slick. What you think?
That's interesting.
James, you hold real quick. They're American players. I told you about American players.
Again, I'm going to say it's resume versus legacy. And if you stick it out, the Steph Curry winning a championship in 2022 put him in a place that, while he's even with LeBron, in many people's minds, that put him a step ahead, because he's stayed with the same team and he ended up with the same number of championships.
Step ahead of who? I didn't hear. You said step ahead.
Look, Steph could have easily said after 2019, and they go and they fall off the map in 2020, and people were suggesting he needs to go someplace else.
Should he go to Charlotte?
He's wasting his career. And then he comes all the way around. He says, no, you know what? I'm going to find a way to lead this group, which was a very questionable group.
He's right.
We can look at it now and say, oh, they're champions. We didn't know what Jordan Poole was. Andrew Wiggins had never been a winner.
Correct.
He brought that team together to go get another ring. And the value of that, and I've said the same thing with Giannis. It's why I'm encouraged by the idea that he's staying in Milwaukee, because he could go someplace else and win another ring or two. If he sticks it out and wins one more in Milwaukee, to me, that's equal to anything else anybody else has done.
You said ahead of who? You said step ahead of who?
He said LeBron.
I think a lot of people are now weighing the way Steph has gotten to his 4 rings, and they're weighing it with how LeBron got to his, going to 3 different places, and are saying, now I'm not making that case. I just know that
Like
narrative
whose rings
is out
are
there.
more impressive? Who's 4?
But you're saying like legacy.
Whose 4 rings are more impressive? Not who's better.
Not as a
Who's
player.
Who's
saying,
4
like,
rings are
How
more
they
impressive?
won the rings.
Bro,
Not individual.
nobody loves Steph more than me on this step. We can't be doing the Steph and LeBron. We can't do that. LeBron James?
There's a nuance.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.